back again. So I hope you were thinking about what Rosie's problem was in the story. Right here, her uncle was, and I'm not sure, I think he was he loved it, but I don't know if she took it the wrong way or if he really was making fun of her. Whatever reason is, though, I'm predicting that he made fun of her invention and she felt so badly about it because she was so proud that she wanted to stop inventing and stop being an engineer. And that's how it went until one autumn day. Her oldest relation showed up for a stay. Her great-aunt Rose was a true dynamo who worked building airplanes a long time ago. She told Rosie tales of the things she had done and goals she had checked off her list one by one. She gave a sad smile as she looked to the sky. The only thrill left on my list is to fly. But time never lingers as long as it seems. I'll chuck that one up to an old lady's dreams. That night, as Rosie lay wide-eyed in bed, a daring idea crept in her head. Could she build a gizmo to help her aunt fly? She looked at the cheese hat and said, "No, not I." But questions are tricky and some hold on tight, and this one kept Rosie awake through the night. So when dawn approached and red streaks lit the sky, young Rosie knew just how to make her aunt fly. And it's just some great illustrations there still. Just all those things she's building. She worked and she worked till the day was half gone, then hauled her cheese copter out onto the lawn to give her invention a test just to see the ridiculous flop it might turn out to be. In flop meaning failure. Strapped into the cockpit, she flipped on the switch. The hello cheese copter sputtered and twitched. It floated a moment and whirled around and round, then froze for a heartbeat and crashed to the ground. Then Rosie heard laughter and turned round to see the old woman laughing and slapping her knee. She laughed till she wheezed and her eyes filled with tears. All to the horror of Rosie Revere, who thought, "Oh no, never, not ever again will I try to build something to sputter or spin, or build with a lever, a switch, or a gear, and never will I be a great engineer." It happened again. Somebody laughing. She turned around to leave, but then great-great-aunt Rose grabbed hold of young Rosie and pulled her in close and hugged her and kissed her and started to cry. "You did it! Hooray! It's the perfect first try! This great flop is over. It's time for the next." So she was laughing with joy. She was so happy to see Rosie doing it, not laughing at her. She was just so happy. But young Rosie was baffled, embarrassed, perplexed. Baffled, super confused. Kind of like with perplexed, almost mean the same thing. Embarrassed again. You just feel so bad about something that happened. "I failed," said dear Rosie. "It's made out of trash. Didn't you see it? The cheese copter crashed." "Yes," said her great aunt, "it crashed, that is true. But first it did just what it needed to do. Before it crashed, Rosie, before that, it flew." "Your brilliant first flop was a raging success. Come on, let's get busy and go on to the next." She handed a notebook to Rosie Revere, who smiled at her aunt as it all became clear. Life might have its failures, but this was not it. The only true failure can come if you quit. What a great lesson. They worked till the sun sneaked away to its bed. Aunt Rose tied her headscarf around Rosie's head and sent her to sleep with a smile ear to ear, to dream the bold dreams of a great engineer. At Blue River Creek, all the kids in grade 2 build gizmos and gadgets doohickeys too. With each perfect failure, they stand and cheer, but none quite as proudly as Rosie Revere. So, I want you thinking now what Rosie wanted. What does she want? But what's getting in her way? So what is she trying to do to solve that problem? Then what happens in the end? That's when we're going to pause the video, and I want you to think about that before the next.